you know, I can do like podcasts and do like sing and like people just hear. I wasn't even thinking about what I was going to wear or anything.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you just came?
Yeah, because I thought it was like radio. I wasn't thinking, because the last things I've done has been radio, so it hasn't been camera, the whole nine. I would have worn a shirt.
That's all right. That's all right. Listen, I'm glad y'all here. Having a good time. Y'all ready to do part 2?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this thing. Hey, welcome again. This is Dreams in Action. I'm your host, Seosin Brown. Again, I want to high five, fist bump, and give a shout out to all the listeners tuning into this motivational channel. But we're in part 2 with Boots to Business. I have James and Benicia here. We're talking about how to transition from the military and how they started business and some of the challenges, some of the things in which they have experienced to still now today have an incredible successful business and also working in government as well. And so I want to pick up from our last conversation as we were talking about how you were incredibly blessed, JB, by an amazing opportunity of meeting, Sister B. And so as you were, had some properties before, you wanted to have some exceptional property management, especially when individuals relating to military people. And Benicia, she was doing an amazing job. And so tell me, I'm interested, I'm curious. As we say as clinicians, I'm curious. So tell me, how did you all meet? Now she was working for you as an employee? I'm just messing. No, but so she was managing the property. So how did you all connect, in terms of in a relational level, but now you all now have broadened the relationship. You've been together for some time and now it's going on to be in business. So I'd like to know. We'd like to know. Yes.
So
how did that transition?
I guess the sequence is a little different in that we had met first. So,
sure.
And we spoke about the Divine Nine and the different groups, the fraternal and sorority organizations.
Yeah.
So we met really through different friends and being out at different events.
Sure.
And I always tell facts that I seen her at there was an event on an all-nighter. There was an event and the Deltas was coming through and she was leading it and I was like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
My goodness. Who
was she
that?
coming in stepping? Was she leading?
Well, at that time she was just coming in. Obviously she's been a cheerleader and leading the pack.
The bombs were bursting in there.
Exactly. It seemed like the music turned on.
The music, right. Slow motion started going. Right. Slow motion started going. Right.
Yeah. So it was just I seen her and like I'm sure many men had before and probably today is wow, I'd like to get to know her.
Sure.
And that didn't happen that night.
Yeah.
But an opportunity presented itself later on and I did and so we started going out and having a really great time and not only is she a beautiful woman, but she's amazing. She's a driver, which is something for me as you speak as a clinician.
Sure.
The type of people you have in your life really impact what you do or what you don't do.
Absolutely.
And so that's something that works extremely well with my personality and what my needs are or how to get me to do things is having that type of personality. And she embodies all that. So
that's great.
Appreciate that. Not everybody can handle that driving piece though. Sometimes I can drive people crazy.
Right. No, but you got the right one now.
Some people
you see what I did with that?
You got the right one, baby.
Oh wow. So
that's right.
But some people, when it comes to like driving them and pushing them to do more, for some people it can be like, oh my goodness, this is just too much,
right?
And I can't take it. This is just way too hard.
Got it.
But one thing I can say about Jay loves a challenge, and any challenge that he's ever given. When it comes to business, he just takes it and runs with it.
That's good.
Even when it comes to the property management piece of the business, I can share that I wouldn't be any close to the success that I've had in property management and offering the services that the company is able to offer.
That's good.
Had it not been for Jay, because when it comes to making sure you have a good a good program that's easy for your tenants to understand, the owners.
Yeah.
He did all the research to make sure that we had the great platform, even though I was like against it. I'm like, we can
Yeah.
just do it ourselves. Like, but
Sure.
why would we do all that ourselves when this program could do it for us?
Absolutely.
Another service that a lot of companies don't offer is doing their general excise tax.
Mm.
There's no way I would want to do that.
Sure.
But Jay found the program, knows how to do it,
Mhm.
and so that's another service that we're able to offer
Absolutely.
the
That's
owners
good.
that had he not been a part of the team, I probably wouldn't be doing it. And,
Yeah.
and again, that's the whole a part of our marketability is that
Yeah.
we're able to offer so many services
Sure.
as property managers, and a lot of them is based on some of the amazing
Mhm.
traits that he's able to bring to the table, which I
Yeah.
am forever
Yeah.
grateful.
Well, tell myself and the audience, what is the name of the business?
So we have two companies.
Okay.
Hawaii Premier Homes.
Okay.
That is the brokerage firm, and then we have Hawaii
Okay.
Hawaii Rentals,
Okay.
and that is the property management division of Hawaii Premier Homes.
So as a broker, so you're a full brokerage.
Right.
Right.
We're a full firm, so
Okay.
we're
Full
able.
service.
Yeah, full service
Yeah.
firm. So we're actually able to hire other agents
Wow.
to
Okay.
to work for
That's
us.
amazing.
Which is nice.
So I just want to give a shout out for those who are moving to Hawaii. I want you to recognize this business, this company.
Hawaii
and
Premier Homes.
Hawaiian Premier Homes. Is there a phone number to the business?
Yes. Hawaii.
Not their numbers, but is there a phone number to the
Yes,
business?
Hawaii
Okay.
Premier Homes, 808-548-2030. You can always see us, also see us on the website, www.hawaiipremierhomes.com.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's truly amazing. Now I want to commend you all again, to get to that level of brokerage, it just doesn't come overnight. Yeah.
It
So
did
what were
not.
what were some of your challenges that you have had to endure? Perhaps the military have taught you, but both of you came in with a sense of grind and grit. Right. So what were some of the challenges that you see that you have had to endure? And
So-
how do you encourage other people to endure through those challenges?
Sure. So grind and grit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think back to when I had to go back home
Mhm. Yeah.
when
Sure.
they said I didn't pass the weight test
Yeah.
or the measure
Wow.
tape test.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, that's okay.
Mhm.
I'm coming back next week.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that same type of mentality that I had
Mhm.
joining the military is the same mentality I had getting my
Mhm.
license.
Yeah, that's
Because I
good.
was the first African American
Mm.
to have a real estate brokerage firm and
Wow.
property management division
Wow.
in the state of Hawaii.
Ooh.
They-
I want to slow that down.
Slow that down a little bit?
We're gonna slide that in there too, like CSF. So let's slow
Yeah.
that. So you were the
The first
first.
African American
Yeah.
to have a real estate brokerage firm
Wow.
with a property management division
Mm.
in
That's
the entire
incredible.
state. Yeah.
I commend you.
Thank you.
That's incredible.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Because of that,
Mhm.
I literally had to go back and
Mhm.
forth
Wow.
to get my license because they kept saying, "No, who do you work for?
Wow.
Like you need to have your broker
Sure.
fill this out because who are you going to work for?"
Mm.
And I'm like, "No, I'm starting it. It's me." And it was like, "Oh, okay,
Mm.
all right." And okay,
Yeah.
then a week later, 2 weeks later,
Wow.
a month
Wow.
later,
Sure.
I'm going back and forth, still just trying to get my license,
Sure. Wow.
just to get the business started.
Wow.
And they kept saying, "Who's your broker?" Okay, you have your broker license, but this company, we need that person to sign here. We see both names here. That's you. I'm like,
Sure.
because it's me.
Right.
I'm the person that's going to own the business. They couldn't
They
get it.
couldn't get it.
They
They couldn't grasp
conceptualize
it.
it. Just couldn't
Isn't that beautiful?
conceptualize that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're both you're forerunner. Definitely both, and just working together even now. I mean, that was amazing. That was Benicia. I want to commend you. That's the determination, the grit, and then also just pushing forward too. What continue to propel you though to not quit, to give up, right? I mean, just because after a few times, back and forth, some give up and quit. What
Right.
kept encouraging you or motivating you, or to push forward and to strive toward that?
Well, that's always been something that, like both my parents have always just told you just, don't quit.
Sure.
Don't quit.
Mhm.
Don't quit.
Good.
Don't quit. So,
Yeah. Do you think also having some wind under your wings to help, like the Divine Nine, the community and family and
Yes.
things like that helps?
Big time.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know that as far as even being able to start my business, I mean, you have to have business coming in.
Absolutely.
You know, and thankfully, you know, we did have the support of the Divine Nine to help kind of keep us going. And even like one of the persons who's been with me the longest, Anita, who's not here today.
Sure.
Anita Mott is one of my sorors. She's been my executive assistant since I've started.
Yeah.
She was with me when I was at Coldwell Banker, just helping me put packets together in the middle of the night so we can put stuff on doors.
Wow. That's
in
amazing.
the early morning. And so that was a
Yeah.
part of that grit and grind. I mean, we were like walking, doing door hangers
Wow.
in the sun.
Wow.
But that was just ways to just get people to know who
Yeah.
I was.
That's amazing.
Getting people to know that I'm in business. And so
Yeah.
it's a part of that as well. So you have that support system who's also putting information out there about the company.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Again, I commend you. Now, JB, what do you think you mentioned some of the challenges, just being in the military and then also transitioning, the Golden Arch doors are closing, and now you're having to go out there. I mean, you know, definitely we can become institutionalized. You know, we've done something for so long, we have a certain position, we get used to that. Then the 1st and the 15th, you know what that always means, right? having to now start. And then you also mentioned too, being a dad, a single parent dad, and having your son. Again, I commend you on that too. It's not hard being a parent and trying to negotiate, you know, parental rights and all of that stuff, and just trying to be there present for kids. That can be overwhelming for a lot of people. So what gave you that chutzpah, that drive, determination, you know, to transition out, to, you know, make your way, and then, you know, being a single parent dad and all of that stuff? What do you think was some of the undercurrent things that allowed you to keep going?
So again, great question. I think, like we've talked about earlier, it starts off with who you are and how you were developed, raised, the challenges, not being allowed to quit, and then that transition to the military. The military is an organization that really failure is not an option.
Not an option.
And so therefore I grew up and developed and matured with that kind of mindset of always trying to persevere. If one way doesn't work, find another way. But ultimately, you need to get to your goal or end state.
Absolutely.
And part of that, I started to learn, and from an institutional standpoint, through the education system, about strategic management and how to organizational management and how to design and develop what makes an organization successful and not successful, and then how do I apply those skills that I have towards what B was building in order to support that. And so sometimes as people branch out, they're really good at what they do. And what you want is everybody on your team to be as good as you are. But essentially a copy of a copy of a copy is not going to be as good as the original. And so understanding that, because no one's going to be as good as you are, is important. That doesn't mean that they don't need to have their structure and maybe they do some things a little different, but your companies have kind of that mission so that they always know what the umbrella and how they operate up under. So probably that's the piece.
System.
Exactly. Setting systems up. And so that's something I'm probably strong at, is developing systems. I love research. And so for me, researching information on homes or researching on properties, and I'm also being someone who's a process improvement analyst or a black belt, I look at how efficient can we be. And so yes, could we use Excel to do something for a couple of properties? Sure. But what happens when we have 40 or 50? Well,
that's good.
Excel and Word is going to be, that's going to end up using a lot of time. But if you improve your technology or already set them up in the beginning, now all you're doing is adding to your inventory under the current system versus, which is a web-based system. And so I believe in setting things up on how you want to operate in the future as opposed to building it kind of as you go.
You know, that's great. Now, when he said black belt, well, he's a black belt, he can take you down. But also black belt in terms of putting systems in place. You all complement each other, you know, in a sense of the business, the people side, because you're an introvert. You do it amazing. You know, people don't know that, but you're always out and talking and connecting with people. But behind the scenes, you're very competent and capable in terms of putting systems together, and so that complement each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
'Cause just listening to him right now talking about that process, because
Sure.
when we were
Sure.
looking at, okay, how we're going to get, you know, our funds to owners on
Yeah,
a regular basis,
yeah.
this whole process, I was all about Excel, that we can do it easily,
Sure.
we don't need to pay this money for
Mhm.
this program, because at that point we only had like 6 properties.
Right.
But we literally had this exact same conversation, but what happens when we have 30 or 40 properties?
Sure.
Thank God. Thank God I listened. Thank God I
Right.
listened.
To put the
because
processes
now,
in place.
as we have all these properties that we're managing with all these tenants,
Say
there's
it again. Say it,
nowhere.
I like it. No.
All of these
I like
properties,
that.
all
You know,
these
you remember the movie
properties.
Mufasa? Say it again. No, that's
Exactly.
beautiful. Now, again, I want
it
to
is a
shout.
blessing that I listened
Yeah.
because I can't even imagine trying to
Sure.
do the business that we're doing now and not have that in place. I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's some wonderful.
So it's good that we did it with
Yeah.
a few properties. So now that we have multiple,
It's a
we're
system
fine.
in place.
The system is in place. So it's
Yeah.
like, can't thank him enough for that.
What do you love about the business?
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what,
sure.
what I
Okay.
love.
Yeah, what do you love about business?
It's helping people.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, you're helping someone either sell the home
Sure.
so that they can take those funds and
Yeah.
go do something else, or someone buy the home that they are going, the place that they're going to call home and be
Yeah.
very happy and satisfied with it. Or on the rental side, it's the same thing. You come to a new location, you want to rent because
Sure.
you're going to be there short term,
Mhm.
and so therefore, but you want to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
And finding that, because it's such a challenge in any environment, but unique to Hawaii, there's some additional
Mhm.
challenges.
Sure.
And then an owner, there's
Mhm.
stress in being a property owner.
Sure.
I can speak to that personally. That you have a mortgage and maintenance fees and everything else to pay.
Absolutely.
But at this,
Absolutely.
so vacancy rates are extremely important in keeping those as low as possible.
Mhm.
And that's something that I always focus on, and making sure that we can turn over properties quickly in that respect. So I enjoy on every aspect on how ultimately it's helping someone achieve their
awesome.
goals and aspirations
That's
in real
amazing.
estate.
Yep. For
That's
me,
amazing.
this is a service industry.
Yeah, it is.
And Hawaii is very expensive.
Yes, it
It's
is.
very expensive. And so when people purchase a home here in Hawaii,
Mhm.
this is probably the biggest single
Yeah.
investment they're ever going to make.
Mhm.
And to be responsible
Sure.
in helping them realize that dream and goal,
Mhm.
working
Yeah.
together as a team to do that, it's a privilege.
That's good.
It's a
That's
privilege
good.
that they trust me, they trust us
Mhm.
to help them with the
Yeah.
biggest investment they're going to ever make
That's
in
amazing.
their, you know, probably at that time. They're probably going to do other things later, but at that time,
Mhm.
that's probably their biggest investment.
Yeah.
And then when they leave this island, to trust us
Sure, to
to
manage.
to manage,
Mhm.
we're looking at probably over $500,000.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Anywhere between 500
Easily.
to 1.2 million or two.
Correct.
The properties are definitely
Exactly.
expensive.
And we are managing that for them.
That's
Or
amazing.
they're planning on selling this home for over $1 million, $600,000, and
Absolutely.
they want to make sure that I want to get as much as I possibly can get for this home.
Yeah.
It's going to show as nice as it can possibly show it, and we do all those things.
And you're going to fight
We're gonna,
for them to
we
get
are
the
going-
maximum amount.
Exactly.
I like that.
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
He's now flying drones. He's flying drones.
That's amazing. That's
You know, we're
amazing.
doing
We're gonna
videos.
have to work on getting our flight. You know, flying some planes, get our license to fly together. I mean here. Why not? I'm in Hawaii. It's beautiful. Yeah. So what is what is your instinct? You know. So how do you see yourself in terms of the business? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to take the business?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
it's twofold.
Yes.
I enjoy real estate. I enjoy helping
Sure.
people find their homes. I enjoy, being their property manager.
Yeah.
But one of the things I also enjoy is I enjoy helping people realize incomes that
Yeah.
they never thought they were going to
Sure.
have that extra.
Yeah.
Just that extra. I
Absolutely.
mean, to have agents that are working for the company that are able to have these amazing
Yeah.
transactions And he always says, you write checks, you write checks. I love writing checks. I love writing checks.
I'm not mad about writing checks.
I love writing checks. And so to be in a position.
Like to see checks coming.
You see checks coming.
That's right. Show me the money.
So it's a blessing in
itself. That's a song in my head.
So it is a blessing to do that as well. I mean, to have Jay tell me, I now have to, file my taxes every every month because of my income. And I'm in a different tax bracket.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
That's a beautiful thing.
I'm not mad at that you have to do that every month.
There's nothing wrong.
Let's do that again next year and next year and next year and next year.
Another.
Yeah, another.
Ever.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good. Now the final question I want to ask you both, after you have made, all the money you possibly can make, after you have traveled to wonderful places, first class, and you've eaten some amazing, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. No. After you've eaten some amazing food and made some great relationships with people, how would you want to be remembered?
Well,
when you're 101, because your grandfather was 100, so you gonna make it. So when you're 101, I'm trying to make 108 like John Morton Finney. So but when you're on your last moments and you have an opportunity to lean over and share something with the next generation, how do you want to be remembered?
So I feel, first off, I'm probably the closest one to that end state.
The conveyor belt of life.
Right, exactly.
He's going to stand first.
I know, exactly. Oh yeah, you're getting close. Come on.
Right. So I think what we talk about, or what I understand you're referring to, is that that dash between your date of birth and the date where you deceased.
Exactly.
What's that dash, and what did you do?
Sure.
And what will people remember you for?
Yeah.
And I would hope that people remember me for my character, and how I engage with people, and the enjoyment that they have being around me. I hope that my family remembers me as being not only present and a provider, but also someone who demonstrated love, which is something I think as African American men, we spoke earlier off camera how that's something we probably necessarily didn't receive or maybe did earlier in our lives, but I would hope that that's something that that my sons particularly remember that their father loved them and demonstrated it. You shouldn't have to try to figure out what that kind of love is. And then someone who gave to others and then made a positive impact on things. You either you help something move forward, you're either sustaining it or you're dragging it down. And I don't want to be a person remembered to always be the dragging things back, but hopefully propelling things and pushing things forward.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
What he said.
That can wrap it up right there.
Well, no, I do want to just add a couple quick things.
Sure.
So what he said and this today, Jay's wearing our Hawaii Premier Homes shirt. Hawaii Premier Homes.
Yes.
Yes. So he's wearing a Hawaii Premier Homes shirt, and today I'm wearing my Delta Sigma Theta shirt.
And the colors, I see it. I see it.
And that's part of that's because today they laid to rest the national president. Our 27th national president, Cheryl Hickman, this morning, and just listening to all the people that had so many wonderful things to say about my national president was just amazing. And so as because I thought, watching the ceremony live today, that, what do I want people to say about me when I leave this earth? I want them to say that B was loving, she was caring, always willing to help, and she was a good person.
That's good.
She was a good person.
That's good.
Because that's all I heard about Sora Hickman.
Yeah. Wow. Well, she's done amazing work, and to say goodbye to her until we see her again.
Until we see her again.
definitely she's left an amazing legacy, and both of you all, you know, have done some amazing work and continue to do amazing work even now, and so that legacy will definitely be in existence.
Thank you.
And so again, I want to say thank you all for joining me today. You know, and one more time, I want you to shout out the business.
Hawaii Premier Homes.
That's right. Phone number
808-548-2030.
That's right. And if you are in Hawaii and needing a home, a place to stay, definitely please, you know, give my sister and my brother an opportunity to serve you. They want to serve you and help you to reach the goals and dreams and aspirations that you have. But this has been Dreams in Action, and I